Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at this brushless miter saw. It's compatible with a 20-volt DeWalt battery, so it's going to be cordless. And the model number is BM10A. Inside, as you open it, we're going to go through the pieces. There is, I'm assuming this is probably a blade. There is your brushless miter saw book kit, tells you how to put it together and its instructions. Two handles, a clamp, a small bag with a piece inside. It looks like it's just to open and close it. This is probably to catch your dust. We'll know when we get it put together. Underneath, we will have the main piece itself of the. So the first thing we're going to do is remove these four screws and the tool that comes with it, and you're going to see your two handles. So basically your two handles are going to fit in here. See, like that and like that, and then we will put the screws in, screw them into place. And put these on backwards. Actually, if you put this the other way, and you'll know they're backwards because when you go to line up your holes, they won't line up. So the only thing you really have to do is flip-flop them, and they'll go right in because they fit. This angle piece will fit either way, but your screw holes won't line up. So just make sure your screw holes are lined up to make sure you have it on correct. You're looking your saw blade side, which on here, this is your handle. I'm talking the saw blade side. This piece just slides in here. This is a clamp that you'll notice that you can loosen this, take it up or down to hold your piece of wood. These are mostly made for using on wood. I've seen people use them on plastic, stuff like that, but they're made for wood. You can adjust this, clamp it down to see how much you can want to move it down. That way you can keep the piece of wood stable and it doesn't move around. In your sawdust catcher, you just basically, this has a spring in it. You're just going to squeeze it, put it on, and that's in place as well. And that's all the setup you have to do. This 8 1/4 inch, so it's compatible with any 8 1/4 inch blade. So you can use any kind of blade in it as long as it's 8 1/4. And you'll see that it says right here that is wood. Make sure you're using the correct blade for the correct product. As I said, I've seen people use plastic before. You have to make sure you have the correct blade because it will grab if you don't use the right blade. It will grab if you're using a wood blade on plastic, it can grab it and jerk it, and that's dangerous. Now you'll notice it does come with a blade on it. So this other blade is actually an extra. This unit also has 4 holes here. This is so if you have a table or wherever you want to mount it, you can mount this there so it doesn't move at all. Because basically once these are in place, you want these staying steady. You don't want them moving. This is a DC powered brushless motor. Delivers 4,100 RPMs for fast, clean cuts and a longer motor life. Has a wide cutting angle miter, just 47 plus or minus degrees. Features a single bevel that tilts 45 degrees for precise compound miter cuts. It's got a wide range, a vertical cut of 2.56 inches by 12 by 2 inches. Handles large workpieces in fewer places. Accepts any standard 8-inch blade. We showed you how to put this guard in. We showed you how to adjust these. If you want to move these guards, you just move these loose right here. Say you got a longer piece of wood. You can just slide these out to whatever length you need. Then you will screw them back down and you will see that they become tight. So when I loosened it, you'll see it becomes loose and you slide it where you need it. Or you can take them off if you don't need them. I recommend leaving them on, and see this one's tight. So when you tighten them back down where you need them, you just tighten and loosen these to make your adjustments there. So if I'm looking at it from the handle side, you're basically going to loosen these, slide them where you need them, and then you tighten them down. There's one on each side for each one of these. They're individuals. Now you want to adjust your stop point for up and down. That will be this right here. So basically, if I loosen this, that will allow the saw to come down further. If I push this down here and lock it, it actually stops it sooner. This is a stop. Basically, this stops the arm when moving up and down. Here's what I'm talking about. If their blade is here, down here, and you want it to come down further because you see it's on a stop, I will loosen this, bring it up some, and then if you look at the blade, that gives me the ability to bring it down further. If you look here at the stop, it gives me the ability to bring it down further. Now I recommend even, because there's no sense, once it gets down here flush, it should be done cutting. But this does give you the ability, if you want to take it up and down further. So basically, if I want to use this, I'm just going to push it down just a hair, pull this stop back. That allows my miter to come up to the position that I will need. Then I can adjust this either way. So if I want to have it come up further, I can adjust it. And you'll notice how far it does come down here. Right down there. It came down further. You'll see my stop because I adjusted it. I bring it back up. Now if I want to bring it down so it stops earlier, I can do that as well. Let's say you want to keep an inch piece of cut your wood or that you're cutting, and you want to save an inch. So you would measure this about an inch. Now when I bring it down, you'll notice it stops and saves you about an inch right here. This stop is for precision cutting. So if you know you have a 4-inch piece of wood and you need to make a 3-inch cut, so you still have 1 inch, you can measure 1 inch here, and then you will have it down here as well. So this is the stop adjustment. I'll put it back to the original because I just need it flush. And that will be right here. You can adjust it as you have it on there. Just a hair more. And then I'll lock it down. When you're done using the miter saw, you're basically just going to push this back in. I'm going to push this back in. That will lock it into place in a down position. You don't want to leave this up because even though you have a guard on it, it's still, the guard is movable and you don't want to take a chance on getting injured. So basically this is going to be on your non-operator side because you're going to be standing over here when you're using this. So you can use the blade, the handle. You will just push down, pull. It stops automatically because there's a notch. And then when you're done, push, push. So once again, you will pull. When you're done, push this down. If for some reason this will not go in, that means that you've got this set for too high, because you'll notice if it's too high, this won't go in. You just adjust this a hair and it will allow you to push it in. So if I'm over here and I'm cutting, let's say I'm cutting something, and we will show you how to use this. We're just going through the basics right now. If I'm cutting, this has the ability to slide back and forth. This is set for a straight cut. If you want to adjust the slide, you just loosen this up because this is clamped. And then you have the ability to slide. So if I'm cutting something and it's a long piece and the blade just doesn't cover it, I can slide it like this. And this is why you have to have it. You're supposed to have these clamped down, because if I'm sliding something, you watch the frame here, it will move. So you want to have this mounted to a table or mounted somewhere if you're going to be using the slide especially. If you're doing a straight cut, you may get away with not using it. But if you're using the slide, you definitely want this mounted to something. And then when you're done, you can just tighten this back down. Let's say I'm cutting something right here and I don't need the slide. I just clamp it down and you'll notice I open and close it and it will not slide. The slide is a neat device, especially for oversized, but if you don't need to slide it, I recommend locking this into place so that you don't accidentally slide it, and especially if you don't have it mounted. So this is where you see your degrees. This is where you make your adjustments. So if I want to set something at 45 degrees and cut a 45-degree angle, this normally would be straight. I would slide this around this piece of the table. Right here it tells me my degrees. So if I'm cutting right now, you see it goes to 45, and there's 2 more notches. So when I told you it goes 45 to 47 plus or minus, that's it. So basically I would put a piece in here, I would cut, and I can change my angle. So if I want to cut at 2 angles like this, this gives you the ability to do that by making a change. Now, when you want to make adjustments, there's an adjuster here. If you look here, this will control this piece right here. And if you look down inside of there, it's just a nut. And that's just basically for a stop. But if you want to move this piece here, you're going to take this piece and you're going to notice it has a notch. So when you're tightening it, you twist it, you pull it back like this, pull it back. Because if you just try to twist it one way, it's going to stop. It's going to hit this, and then you're not going to, because if you twist it back, it's just going to loosen it. So you have to pull this out. That's how you lock it down, and you're going to see it's in place. This doesn't move. if I want to adjust this table here, I'm going to loosen this, pull it out, loosen this again. It gives me the ability to just grab a hold of the frame, the handle here, and spin this to whatever angle I want. See, if I want it at 0 degrees angle, I want a straight cut. I'm going to put this on 0, and it notches. Every time you move it, you'll feel this notch. When I hit a 0, it notches. 15, it notches. Every time you hit one of these major points, you will feel it lock into place, and you'll actually hear it. 22.5, 15, and 0. That noise, knock, listen. There, there, there. Those are lock points. So you'll just move it around to where you want it. So I want a 0 degree cut because I'm just going to do a flush cut. Then I will come back here again, and I will do what it told you to do. You tighten it. Now I've hit the table. So if I try to loosen this up, it's not doing anything. So you tighten it, pull it back, move this. Now what I did here, I put my thumb so this doesn't accidentally spin. Pull it back again, and it's tightening now. And now it's tight. So the main key is this has a pull function. If you just twist this and you don't pull this back and forth, you're really not really doing anything for yourself. It's just going to keep tightening and loosening, and it will never ever actually tighten. So this saw is designed that your crumbs, your shavings will go into this, blow out. Some people actually you can hook a shop vac up to this. They are made, shop vac hose should fit, and you can set that to the side and turn that shop vac on, and it will automatically suck everything in there for you. Now that I got this to 0 degrees down here, we got it on 0. That's when you'll use this to lock it into place. So once I got that there, if you look, it's all the way forward onto the bar. It's locked. This shouldn't move. We got 0 degrees. We got it locked. Now when we go to use this, this is going to be the handle you're going to use to get this blade spinning. You watch. It does nothing because there's a safety. You have to twist the safety, push the safety in as you're pulling in, and that will activate the saw. If you do not pull this in, your saw will not kick on. That's a safety feature. Now, I'm not actually going to change the blade, but I'm going to show you how, if you need to. You're going to loosen this piece up. Then you'll notice your blade the cover will slide open. You remove this piece here. It just comes off. This is for your blade. You will loosen this. This piece will come off. You will put your new blade on. You will tighten this back up. You'll now be careful when you're doing this because you don't want to mess up your slide. Put your slide back in and make sure you tighten this down. If you forget to tighten this down, you could mess up this piece because what will happen is this will slide as you're trying to cut and your guard will catch. So make sure you tighten that back down when you're finished. So you will loosen this. This whole piece will rotate backwards. It will reveal the screw here. You will take the screw out with this end of your Allen head. Put your new one in, tighten it back down. Be careful, these are sharp. Put this back down, move this piece over, and then make double sure that that is tight because that is your guard. You don't want your guard to move. You'll notice it has a retract action here, and it has a retract action right here. So it's double. There's a spring inside of here. So when you're looking at your index, page 2 and page 3, there's going to be the numbered parts. They're going to show all these parts in the pictures, but if you want to know what they actually are, you're going to go to page 9, and it tells you what each one of these is. So like this one tells you number 25 on page here, I2, 25, shows this button right here. This button right here behind your handle, this button, if you come back around and you go to page 9, number 25 is your on-off switch for your laser. So if you have a laser, that button will operate it. Right here is your handle. Your button will be here. Now, when you're going to move this, you're going to want this down. Do not try to move it with the blade up. You can either move it like this, or you can put your hands underneath it and lift it like that. Under here, or like this. And I recommend if you're going to do it this way, make sure this is loose. Slide it forward, lock it down, and grab it from behind. Just meant, even if there's no battery in it, you want to be extra careful because this can actually pull up on your shirt. So you can grab it from behind like this. or you can grab it from underneath like this. You do not want your arm or body anywhere near the blade. Let's take your DeWalt or DeWalt compatible battery, slide it in, just click. I explained to you the laser. So if you want your laser on, you're going to push this button, and then if you look down here, there is your laser. You see a picture of this saying don't stare directly into it. That is a warning. Down here is your laser. It's shining on the blade. But right there you'll see the light. You see it on my, right here, on my finger. I'm trying not to get too close to the blade. So I can turn it on, off, on, off, on. So once you got your DeWalt compatible battery or DeWalt battery, whatever, you just take your finger, push in on this, or if you're left-handed, however you want to do it. There's one on each side. I'm going to grab this, squeeze it with my thumb, and then listen. If you look at your blade, it is spinning. Your blade is spinning. Don't ever, never put your hand anywhere close to this blade. It will cut you so fast you won't even realize it. This is a very dangerous piece of equipment. And if you watch, once I push the release here and I start going up, watch your guard. Your guard will slowly come down to cover that blade for you. That's why I said don't ever put your hand in here. Because if I'm in here and I'm operating this, and let's say I'm cutting using the slide, this will never be covered because it's cutting the wood or whatever you're cutting right here. The whole idea is to have this thing mounted. Or if you're gripping something, don't ever put your hand close to this blade. It's very dangerous. These are made, so make sure you understand what you're doing when you're using this. Now, let's say I'm cutting something, the slide is on right now, but if I'm cutting something back here, you'll notice I don't have my hand anywhere near the release. So I move my hand around here, yes, it's close to this, but without that release, it's not going to work. So keep your thumb away from the release, slide it. If I'm cutting a piece of wood right here, I'm going to want this all the way back. I'm going to lock this into place so that it doesn't move. So this is just called a chop. You've heard miter saw, they also call them chop saw. And the reason why they call them chop saw, if you look, it's a straight chop. So I would just go like this. Also, when you're using these, please wear safety glasses because wood chips will fly up. Even though this is catching some of your sawdust, there may be a stray piece or two, and it's easy to get something in your eye. So we'll get a piece of wood. We'll show you how to use this. But this is the chop function. Now we're not going to do a bunch of fancy designs. We showed you how to adjust it. You can do that on your own. You can loosen the one up here that I showed you earlier, and it will allow you to spin the table. Make sure this one is loose before you do this one. You'll loosen this one up like we showed you. You'll loosen this, spin your table. Make sure when you're using something, your piece of wood, or you're cutting something, you use your clamp. You don't want kickback. So if I'm cutting something and I'm using this, I can get what's called kickback, and this can fly up. That's the whole idea of a clamp. This has several built-in safety devices. It has your clamp to keep stuff from kicking back. You have your safety here. You have your safety here. It's all a matter of working safely. And if you want your slide, just be careful if you are using the slide because you can get kickback. Demonstration. I will be cutting 2 pieces of wood. You'll see me doing it very slow because this table is not locked down to anything. So I do not want any kickback. I don't want to go real fast. If this was locked down, you can just chop real quick and easy. But if it's not, you want to worry about kickback. Plus, you have no way of holding it other than the clamp. We will show you one at an angle and one regular. Just basically show you how to do it. Now, you want to make sure your table is level. The way you do that, these will always be level because it's straight. Take this piece here and you will adjust it to make sure it's level. So you can move it up and down. Right now it's level. My table's level. And the reason, if you look on the bottom here, this has inverted pieces with rubber on them. So when you're locking this down, there's rubber under here. So whatever you're sealing it to, this will cushion it. I'm just going to go ahead and chop it. And you can do it either way, flat side down or like this. So I'm going to do it like this. And I have this slightly overextended. so that it will go all the way through. Remember, you won't be able to lock it in place unless you put that back. So I get this locked in. I want to go down and lock this. Make sure it's locked. You'll feel it get tight. What it does is there's nothing to lock this. But what it does is it puts pressure on it. And you're going to see this is nice and tight. This is nice and tight. This is nice and tight. So you want to start your saw. Put on your safety glasses first. Now you have these handles here. If you want to hold, you can hold here, or you can not hold at all. Just remember, these aren't hold down, so I am going to hold over here to the side. And then you slowly push this button, activate your saw. Now you'll notice when I did that, it hears up. Don't start before you hear it all the way to full speed. Now you see, it did not suck my sawdust into here. That's why I said sometimes you want to hook a shop vac up. But you saw it cut through this, no problem. So for the next part, I loosen this up. I'm going to loosen this. Remember, I told you have to keep doing this. So I'm going to spin this to an angle, and I will cut this next piece at, let's say, a 30-degree angle. Got it right there on 30. Tighten this back down. Remember to make sure you keep pulling this out, and try to use your thumb like I did to tighten, because otherwise it'll just keep spinning on you. Tighten it down. Once you know you got it tight, then you tighten this as well. So you'll see this next piece, when I cut it will be at an angle. You're going to notice there's a slight warp to this board. So with that said, you're going to want to be careful. I'm going to try to put the warp to the downside. Make sure I have my clamp. There's two ways to do this clamp. I can do this one, but it's also up here. So since this is a thin piece, I will take this, loosen it, slide this down, rather than sit there and twist this over and over and over and over and over. And then you can use this to try to pull it down. So we got everything set. Remember, this is not bolted down, so I will do this slowly. And this one also, I will, if you notice, I'm going to need the slide on this as well. So I'm going to be using the slide. So I'll loosen this up back here. And you're going to notice this does sweep up a lot of the shavings. There's shavings in here from the last one, but it misses a lot as well. There's a slight gap right here. I tried pushing it down on there further. That's as far as it'll go. So there will still be some shavings. I'm doing this in my living room. I'm going to have to sweep, obviously, but we're just trying to give you a rough idea how it works. And I will use the slide on this as well. I'm going to start this way and work my way back. So we're going to make sure I got it on. Oh, our battery again. Bring it out. Safety. See, cut it at an angle, exactly like you wanted. So you can get precise cuts with this, just a matter of making adjustments. Brushless 20 volt, used with DeWalt batteries or DeWalt compatible miter saw. So you saw us cut some stuff, and I did tell you that you would get shavings. You'll see this did catch a lot of shavings inside. It's just there's a lot of shavings that come off of it. So it did miss some. And that's to be expected. So what I'll do when I hook this up in my garage, I will hook a shop vac directly up to this. I will turn the shop vac on when I am using the miter saw, right before I use it, and it will also suck it in. It'll catch more than this, but even then, you still will not catch all of the shavings that come off of it. So do expect some shavings. It's just natural, it comes with it. There are ways to catch more. This did catch some. A shop vac will catch more, but you'll never catch them all. That's why you use them in the garage, workshop, whatever. I just used mine in the house as a display, and then I had to clean up the mess, of course. Definitely a nice saw. You saw us cut at a 45-degree angle or 30-degree angle. Did really well. The angle was perfect. Cut through another one. We just chop sawed it. Do even better once it's mounted. Once these mounts are in place, you can just do it real quick. I did it slowly because it wasn't mounted and I wanted to be on the safe side. It's got the slide. You can use that. We showed you that function as well, We're going to put the link for this in the description. Like, subscribe, give us a thumbs up. And if you do any kind of cutting at all, you're going to need a miter saw. This is a really nice one, especially the fact that it is cordless. The other thing I wanted to show you this, if you want to cut at an angle, you can also adjust this piece here. So when you are loosening this piece here to slide this back and forth around the chest, you can also adjust the angle of the head. If you watch right here, I loosen this like you did earlier with this. And then look right here, I can adjust the angle of my head. I can actually cut at an angle here. So if I wanted to cut something at an angle, let's say you're cutting a piece of wood that has to fit in a certain place, and it's 30 degrees, you can adjust your head right there, 30 degrees. Notice, I don't ever have the battery in. I'm doing all this stuff setting up. So you can adjust the angle of the head as well, right there, 30 degrees, 45 degrees. So it has all kinds of adjustments on it. And then when you get it where you want it, it's just going to be like you did for this right here when you're adjusting this angle. You're just going to tighten this back down here. And it doesn't have to be super loose. You just have to do one full crank and this will turn. So, and you can also adjust this way if you want to. So there's two adjustments on this. Remember, you can adjust it this way. But that will also require you loosening this. So to adjust this one, you're going to remember to have to loosen this and this. To adjust this one, you just have to loosen this and adjust it however you want, and then tighten it back down.